This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money, you sorry
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
I've never felt like this before. It's like you just get me. I feel like my true self with you. Does that sound crazy? And it doesn't hurt that you're gorgeous. Okay, that's it. I'm taking you home with me. I mean, you can't find shoes this good just anywhere. Find a shoe for every you from brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, and more at your DSW store or dsw.com.
You familiar with Ben Saraf?
No, I'm not.
19 years old. He's a guard. He's 6'6".
Oh, okay.
And hoopshype.com is a place that I'll go this time of the year with the NBA draft over the next 2 days and round one this evening. I believe in the Hal Covenant, picks 17 and 31, correct?
Yes.
Well, this Hoops Hype doesn't put a player with a team. What they do is they rank them. And I think it's a 1 through 50. And a couple of, they're just from the Florio chat through Steve's Appliances into Saraf, Saraf, don't know how to say his last name. High basketball IQ, a knack for making creative passes, scoring in crafty ways, ability to play both on and off the ball makes him a versatile option to be a dynamic combo guard or wing. That's from Hoops Hype. I like Hoops Hype.
Yeah, the 6'6" is Israeli guard. Now I go to NBADraft.net.
Yeah,
have done so for a number of years, and there are many things. So where I've seen that for the Timberwolves specifically at 17.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of this is related to the Kevin Durant, the Durant dilemma, and Rudy Gobert. Is the team bored with him? Got to move on from Rudy.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a ton of centers being thrown to the Minnesota Timberwolves at pick 17 in particular. Mm-hmm. I'm intrigued by this Saraf cat, but I'm seeing names, for instance, if we just jump right off the website here, at pick 17, the Timberwolves might go with Maryland center Derek Queen. Could Queen become a king in Erotic City as a center for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
That's interesting because at Hoops Hype, now I found a new link where they list the 5 most probable players to be selected by each team.
Oh, nice.
And with the Timberwolves at 17, it goes center, but it's not the Queen cat.
Is it Sorber?
Yeah, Thomas Sorber, Georgetown. Center.
Oh, the Hoyas.
And Juan or Joanne Behringer, something like that. Union. He's also a center. Then we got a BYU point guard. We have a Colorado State small guard. But see that they're with the transfer portal and the emergence of NIL in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
You know, do you really want to see somebody getting to their senior year? I would wonder like I'd have to look at like where he was and did he transfer and stuff like that.
Sure.
But you see so few in the NBA and the NFL get to their final seasons where they played that whole thing through. But you know what? This Nick Clifford, Colorado State small guard.
Okay.
Maybe he was there for the education and the experience.
Maybe he was.
And he just couldn't. Colorado State, I think, is the one that's in boring Fort Collins.
Do you think Sorber would be more Ewing or Hibbert?
No, I mean, geez.
It's
a fair question.
That's the fair question.
Yeah, but you got some, but they're just simply from Florio through Steve's Appliances Live into the Israeli combo guard. There are three things that popped up involving the NBA and the NBA draft. And first and foremost, that Hoops Hype has that guy ranked 17th. Read up on him. It seems to be quite intriguing.
Yeah.
Not exactly sure when he would play if he's 19 years of age. But I don't know. Maybe it's one of those Euros you find underneath a rock in Ginobili-like fashion, and you just stick him off to the side for a little bit, let him season, and then all of a sudden you got Drazen Petrovic / Dirk Nowitzki reincarnate.
Well, if we keep drafting 19-year-old guards, one of them's going to stick.
Well, secondly, the Rutgers, it's the Scarlet Knights, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they must have won 3 NCAA tournament games, right? I mean, they must have pressed for a Big Ten championship, right?
I don't believe so.
So they have two guys, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, who are supposed to go 2-3, 2-4, 3-4. I'm like, Rutgers players, okay, that's happened before. It's not, we're not talking about like old school Chapel Hill or old school Duke or old school UCLA or new school Gonzaga, whatever.
They were a game ahead of the Gophers this year, 8-12 in the conference.
With two guys, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, who are going to be drafted second and or third behind Cooper Flagg. That's just astounding to me that you can have two players like that and like have a losing record in conference. Now, being a fairness and 9 to noon act, one of them could have played 5 minutes in one game, got hurt, and didn't play the rest of the year, and 9 to noon would not know about it.
That is correct.
So maybe there are extenuating circumstances.
Have you? I'm assuming then you haven't heard much about Ace Bailey prior to this, right?
I mean, I heard the name, and I had heard that it like right after the season, one of the National Basketball Association talkers was would the Dallas Mavericks trade the first overall pick in the generational Cooper Flagg? And if so, would they be comfortable with Ace Bailey?
Right.
So that's like the name.
Okay.
Then would they put Cooper with Wemby if they got Stephon Castle, a bunch of ones, including this year's 2? So yeah, like that's where I heard his name.
Well, the only reason I ask, and I hadn't heard much about him. I've heard the name in passing. It's a person that exists, and all this stuff flying past you 100 miles an hour.
I couldn't pick him out of a 2-person lineup standing next to Scott Skiles.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not kidding you.
But he's actually one of the talkers into tonight's draft because he was. There's something with representation. We've seen this. I mean, we've heard about it. I can't say we've seen this, whether it's players representing themselves. And I'm trying to, is it Russell Okung that negotiated his own deal for an extension?
Yeah.
Got 3 and 36.
And big dumper guy.
Richard Sherman. Did he leave money on the table when he first went from Seattle to the Niners?
And big dumper guy.
But then there are those that, people mismanaging your finances. You get an agent, you trust this person, he's in the covenant, and he messes with your mind and messes with your bank accounts.
Yeah.
But Ace Bailey's been one of the big talkers into this draft because he's been turning down pre-draft workouts and meetings with a bunch of teams.
Well, I wouldn't want to play in Utah either.
Well, I understand that. But Charch is there. Charch moved to Utah. It's got to be a great place.
Or did he? I mean, it's every social media picture you see, or like he was at Canterbury Park.
Yeah.
On Father's Day, he came out with his father Sam.
Tradition with his dad. Yeah.
Boom! It was beautiful, and also to watch Derek's Father's Day race call. All right, so he was here for a little while. Then I guess he left, and then the next time I see him, he's on social media in Las Vegas at that.
Well, he was at Circa.
Yeah, Circa. Thank you.
Well, did you
with VSiN, and he's like doing a fantasy football morning show.
By the way,
is he even there? Maybe he didn't get a gun.
Did you see Charch? I mean, this is so VSiN. I'm not saying that this is like CNBC finance. But
well, of course you are. It's in the vast and ever expanding iHeart Audio family, and people can listen to it right now if they're looking to spot up.
Correct. But content or all of that, I like VSiN. But you see the host. He's wearing a suit. You know, you got the sports book and everything behind you. And freaking Charch rolls in with a ball cap. He's got shades on the bill.
Has a kite.
He's got his readers on.
Has a kite, trying to fly the kite and invent electricity.
So if you had just tuned into VSiN for the first time, you feel like the host yanked him out of the book. He had just placed a parlay, and now they're asking him fantasy football questions. Church it up a little bit, Charge. Put a freaking collared shirt on. Get a suit on. Oh, my goodness.
But see, the beauty of Charge, when he does something like that, or like say Paul's joining us right now to discuss the NBA draft.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we ask him about Con Knipple, all right, one of your favorite players, one of your nicknames is the Con, because you're the con artist and league freak, and it's a play off David Kahn, so you're the Con. Con Knipple, a small guard from Duke. If you ask him about Con Knipple, I mean, he's going to be so prepped up on it that he's going to make it sound like he hosts Blue Devils Fan Line, or he's the co-host with Mike Jaminski doing Blue Devils Fan Line.
Well, just like Kareem Hunt, he watched one AAU video on YouTube, and suddenly he's his favorite player in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, he's at the Chicago NBA Combine sitting behind Shams, watching Shams watch all 10. And now I've seen him play in the tournament, but Con Knipple off the dribble, specifically with the crossover when it starts with the left, is the greatest ever.
Well, he loves how the board game con in Indy moves into the next weekend, the McDonald's All-American game. So he can actually get to see both in one trip. In fairness, by the way, I was texting Charch, giving him crap about it. That was a spontaneous appearance. So
it was?
That's why he was.
He does that.
He was rolling super casual.
Well, he changes set lists. So, I mean, you got VSiN as part of the iHeart family. If you're looking to spot out Mitch and Paulie and the rest of the gang, he was just kind of. Would you say Charch hangs, lingers, or hovers?
Ooh. Can I go with the fourth option of lurks?
Well, that's when he's behind the slot machines at 5:30 in the morning, and maybe the oldest profession in the history of professions is finding its way home after. I mean, it was the stories a stadium can tell. The stories that individual walking home at 4:30 in the morning can tell.
Some are in the lobby at sun up as they go home.
Right.
Some are in the lobby at sundown as the parties begin to arrive. But,
so just
but
quickly.
Ace Bailey, though, that was one of the talkers with him, is that getting ripped almost universally across the league.
Yeah.
Rutgers, I haven't watched Scarlet Knights games at a high level basically ever from a hoop standpoint. But Ace is this highly touted, talented kid, and it's interesting to see if he falls, and again, like pre-draft, hey, what's your top 10 list of who to draft? And whether it's center or those things, I'm excited to react to the first round tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But after Cooper Flagg, it's then kind of a then what? Well, Ace Bailey is part of that then what in terms of how teams react to really the standoffishness, the demanding nature, and how difficult he's been in this pre-draft process. And we'll see if it costs him some money because of his representation and those that are feeding those ideas into his head.
Well, it's twofold here. This you want to drop a talk back in here before we're done with this segment. Because we're going to marathon it. I can just tell right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Courtesy of Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. 4th of July sale, lowest prices of the season. Hit shop deals when you go to the website, stevesappliances.com. And I don't know if you're let's say you're looking for an LG white front load gas dryer.
Okay.
You can save about $400 on that thing right now. That's just one of 8 million things available at stevesappliances.com, where you can shop deals and put them to the task on the guaranteed low price. So figure out what goes into that. StevesAppliances.com provides a 9 to noon with the marathon segments. So Rutgers, again, with those two players who played at Rutgers, and they had a losing record in the Big Ten, and I don't understand it, man, how you can have two players who go in the top 3, 4, or 5 of the draft, and you're just kind of it's a team game, Paul. Nah, it ain't hockey, it ain't football, okay? It's a pick and roll game. Recognition off the pick and roll. Do I go over? Do I go under?
Yeah.
You got these sneaky box and one plays. Okay, it worked once, nice on the in-key pick under the basket, and then they got a dunk. Cool, didn't work the rest of the game. So that's a little astounding to me. But finally, and perhaps this is news due Nordworthy. I know Kristaps Porzingis got traded.
Yeah.
But P.T. Barnum. Anybody familiar with the name?
The circus.
Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah.
I think it was P.T. Barnum who once said, and if it wasn't him, I'll figure out who it was, but P.T. Barnum et al. At one time said, there's a sucker born every day. The point being here, somebody actually traded for Jordan Poole.
I always love that one.
Again.
Man, you're so down on him.
You know what? I'm
LFL
down.
style.
Right. But I mean, when video is leaked by somebody within the Warriors covenant who got fired, and he's at a practice or a training camp practice, and Draymond Green and Jordan Poole get into an argument, and Draymond Green punches Jordan Poole in the face 2 times.
Yeah.
And Poole offered no resistance.
None.
Even if he goes swinging like watching a social media bite of Adrian Peterson trying to fight.
Oof.
Okay, now Adrian Peterson can do a lot of things well. The executing the jab or the uppercut or the roundhouse, probably against Nordo.
The art of pugilism.
Yeah, he's not a pugilist specialist. Thank you. Now, if he gets you on the ground, you got some problems.
It's over.
Because that's a monster and he's strong.
That's correct.
But
he looked like he could have taken about 25 more punches from that guy and have been completely unfazed.
If you're Adrian Peterson and there's a camera rolling, you can't get punched in the face.
No.
It just sends all the wrong messages about legacy. You just can't let that be that happened to Jordan Poole twice, and he didn't swing back, and it bugged me forever. So then he ends up with the Wiz, and he's terrible. And see, what makes a player like Jordan Poole the absolute worst is they'll have 2 weeks where they'll average 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and a steal and a half a game on 48% shooting.
Yeah.
They'll do that. And then you'll be like, see, you. Go ahead and tell me that I lost that deal. No, you got killed in that deal so badly, you eventually gave in and traded him. So he's going to New Orleans. C.J. McCollum, or skeletal remains thereof, at least he's a wise player, knows how to play the game. I just can't believe. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because P.T. Barnum put us on it. There's a sucker born every day. And most recently, it's somebody taking on Jordan Poole, unless there are particulars here where team option at the end of the year, contract comes off the books, going to have X amount of free agency money, and a lot of people going to want to come to New Orleans, which could be true, especially if Zion stays healthy. But it just blows me away that somebody traded for Jordan Poole.
How many times have the Wolves been in that mix, though? When you just mentioned the Wizards, by the way. So you're excited for Jordan Poole. It doesn't work out. And then you got to do, hey, let's see how many triples Corey Kispert's going to get tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, that's awful. If you're just a Capital City Hoops fan, you're not loving it. But you're in such a tough spot as an organization that you end up now where you are taking C.J. McCollum and Chris Middleton, by the way.
Yeah.
And that now you're going to sell that. You're going to sell that. And by the way, Chris Middleton, and you know this personally about me, he was one of my favorite players for half a decade.
Yeah.
Love Chris Middleton.
With Milwaukee.
It's freaking over for Chris Middleton. And you're not, and like Softy was saying at the beginning, if Cooper Kupp goes to your rival, he's over the hill. If Cooper Kupp comes to your team, there's still untapped potential there. You're going to be selling Chris Middleton and C.J. McCollum, who collectively can barely stay on the court for any extended period of time, as a veteran influence and the potentials of a terrific season. With that, I mean, Wolves fans, we've been on the doorstep 2 years in a row and we've taken L's. And frankly, it's been ugly at times. And we're arguing about the center and size, but it's got to be the right kind of size and all of this. and who's going to be the point next to Anthony Edwards. Think about how different our franchise is than some of the teams, and we're watching these moves, and people are getting conned into taking Jordan Poole.
They're getting con-knippled. Make it number 4. Okay, so we got 2 guys for Rutgers who are going to be taken second, third, fourth, third, fifth, something like that. Top 5 draft picks going tonight. Who played for a team that won 8 Big Ten games and was not on the radar of anything super high and or positive or ballyhooed. Well, so that blows me away. There's a sucker born every day. Somebody actually traded for Jordan Poole. And finally, I forgot to bring this up to you yesterday. After having like a shin injury, a wrist injury, a debilitating shoulder, some kind of rotator cuff, we got Terp in the mix. You got everything happening with Chris Middleton. What an absolute shocker. He picked up his player option for $33 million.
I always love that one.
There was, the owners of the Wiz, the owners and management for the Wiz were just kind of sitting there. Come on. Say no.
Say no.
It's Chris. It's before taxes. It's actually a lot less. What a shocker there. Well, even with just some unbelievably run organizations, if you really, really get, like the Twins here, with all due respect to a member of the core 4. Okay, they lost again. They're so stuck right now. They'll get out of it, maybe even today, but they're absolutely moribund stuck right now.
Yep.
And like for me, and I think a lot of people, the first thought comes back to, how do you fix it?
Right.
When the ownership deal's not settled.
Yeah.
And then you talk to Wobble or other people, and it's like, Seattle, the Dodgers, the Yankees, maybe the Rangers. So a lot of these teams, their TV deals at the end of the equation are. And I'm up here on Comcast trying to find 1261.
Yeah.
And then listen to that crap music when it ends that plays like when you have League Pass, NBA League Pass, and the game's over. And it's like, it's just terrible.
You fall asleep in the sinkhole and you wake up to that.
Yeah. So then you're thinking, you're like, wow, how do you get out of this?
No, it's curse of the cornfields, certainly.
Right. Curse of the, yeah. If you believe in that, but nevertheless, it's some type of cursed covenant here. Washington Wizards are experiencing it. Whomever runs Rutgers, is their head coach still the same guy? Because, if there's a general manager for that team or an athletic director or whatever, let me get this straight. We're watching the draft tonight. So Con Knipple over there, he's coaching the team. And, I'm Paul Allen. I'm the new Mike Lombardi general manager, not with the North Carolina Tar Heels, but Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And good to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, Con. Great run at Duke. Let's watch the draft. Well, let me get this straight. So we just had 2 guys who played for us last year when we won 8 games in conference. They just went 2-3 in the draft. That's when you call the school president and say, how many years does he have left on his deal? Because we might want to buy that mug out right now.
Yeah, here's what I'll say about this. Ace Bailey and the other guy, Dylan Harper, I don't know anything about these guys other than, as I was speaking to earlier, Ace's issues potentially with the pre-draft process.
Same.
But I think what we're talking about, though, is 2 freshmen who are 18, now 19 years old.
Yeah.
It is interesting, the philosophy of, and again, the team wasn't good, 8-12, I think, in the Big Ten this year. Mm-hmm. So not great. But the philosophy of going young. So the Wolves, you buy in on a Dillingham a year ago, not necessarily because of what he'll be right away, but what he potentially can be. So you're trying to buy low and achieve high. On the other end of it, you mentioned, are we interested in players who played all 4 years? Well, Terrence Shannon Jr. would be a good example then on the other end of the spectrum.
Great point.
Where he's 23, 24.
Yes.
And so is his ceiling as high as a Rob Dillingham? Potentially not. And frankly, disappointing rookie season with Dillingham's development. It's got to be a better year too. But Terrence Shannon Jr. with that age was able to come in almost immediately and try to produce something. Bull in China shop. He's got 3 boards, 3 buckets, 3 fouls in 3 minutes. That's the Terrence Shannon Jr. Experience this particular season. So the philosophy between that And then you kind of look at how you want to attack in OKC. If you believe that if you want to throw words around like dynasty, let's go see them do it again first. But dynasty, and they're set for so many years. Do you want to then try and build organically with young talent that can ascend, another Rob Dillingham-esque type player? Or are you trying to shoot for the experienced and known commodities? We were almost in on Kevin Durant. Or what does this summer look like if you are going to move? You know, I'm seeing people in the text line like Cam Johnson from the Nets, for instance, 29 years old.
He can score.
He can score. That's the thing. And people are looking at Jaden McDaniels like, you know, steal numbers were good if we're looking at box scores and stat lines, but inconsistent offensively, right? How good is that defense, et cetera?
Yes.
How consistent is he overall as a player? So, you know, it's how do the Wolves want to battle OKC? Is it going to be finding somebody young and building this thing organically and tell that story over a longer period of time? Or are they going to jump in on a fat piece, and hopefully it's the right piece, to try and battle OKC and topple them in 1 year or 2 years? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean, from a draft standpoint, how the Rutgers kids, I mean, Ace Bailey, some of these kids, by the way, they play their rookies or their freshman seasons of college basketball. You were talking about J.J. McCarthy growing an inch. What if Ace Bailey's like 6 inches taller? Some of these kids, they hit these spurts.
Ace Bailey sounds like a lead guitarist in an old school band like Kiss or something like that.
Yeah, so, you know, the changes that these kids are still going through, the unfinished product that they are, and you're buying, I mean, you're spending fat currency that it'll work out.
Yeah, like Rob Dillingham. All of a sudden, at age 20 or 21, he'll be able to hit a 3 a game. Or maybe 3/4 of a 3 a game. Why? Because his hands grew and he has a better control of the basketball, and it's going to guide it in.
Exactly. So, I mean, as we're very much shooting from the lip on some of these prospects here in tonight's draft, but it is super fun, and I'm excited with pick 17. I'm just going to say they get a big man. I mean, you know, there's nothing on the line if I'm wrong, but if that's the route they go, you know, we're going to be learning and doing some research on whoever the Wolves ultimately select at 17 tonight.
Well, maybe via the talkback or Mr. Khan Knipple over there. Maybe somebody can help me with that nice Florida player that I watched in the NCAA tournament, and I can't. Walter Clayton. That's right,
Walter Clayton.
Yeah. Okay. So. Hoops Hype has him like 29th best player. This .net has this, and this .com has that. Cool. I'll take him right now.
Okay, well...
Walter Clayton Jr. is a badass.
Here's the deal, though. He's 22, PA.
Great.
He's not 19. He's played some basketball. He's got some college tread on the tires.
Look at Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield out of like Oklahoma came into the NBA of Bahamian descent at like age 25.
The flair.
Look how great Buddy Hield's been all of his career. Okay.
In fairness, we would take potentially.
I want Walter Clayton Jr.
Good teams could use Buddy Hield's 3-point shooting on their team. Now they need that off the bench. We don't want him playing 30 minutes a night. But
and great teams will find their way to this bulldog, Walter Clayton Jr.
Kason Williams.
Yeah, I'm in on Walter Clayton Jr. Holy cow! All right. Here's the final question before we give out some money and head into the second part of the radio show. I'd like to ask you a question, Mr. Khan Knipple. What do Dylan Grant, Zach Martini, and Jeremiah Williams all have in common?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, they're the 3 starters with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, who helped to get Rutgers bounced in the very first not NCAA tournament, Big Ten tournament game to that vaunted 7-13 machine, the USC Trojans. But you know what? They did push it to 2 overtimes. Dylan Harper in the game, 27 points. Ace Bailey had 17. But Jeremiah Williams, Zach Martini, Dylan Grant of the variety just could not push past this Harold Baby Jordan Minor O.J. Mayo-led USC Trojan squad that was 7-13 in the Big Ten. What a world. Let's give away some money.
The Fan, along with BigDeck.com, want to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com, enter the keyword grand. You might win a grand by using the keyword grand at KFAN.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money, you sorry
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled smart engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
It's Megan.
Are you ready for hashtag Megan Summer?
Megan?
Megan.
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 Megan. Would you prefer that I give you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
Megan?
Yes, it's me. What a shock, etc.
On June 27th.
She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
All right, meat sacks, let's get to work. Are you going to stand in my way?
The bee is back.
You think you learned your lesson the first time?
Megan.
Megan 2.0, only in theaters June 27th, rated PG-13.
Doc.
Jason from Ramsey. Just want to say, give me the senior Walter Clayton Jr. to the Wolves tonight.
In
the next Terrence Shannon Jr., a guy that should be top 10, but because he's 22 and a senior, NBA front offices are letting him drop. He's a big shot maker. Wow. He's exactly what the Wolves need at point guard, and it gives you some Dillingham insurance.
I don't mind that. I mean, this Walter Clayton Jr., I'm looking through these names, and I was like, oh, that's right. That's the badass who played for Florida, who kept hitting all the monstrous shots, all the great shots.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so let's compare and contrast. Jalen Suggs hit a massive shot for Gonzaga. It was a buzzer beater, won the NCAA tournament. Boy, that's really worked out well for Jalen. Well, he's been in the NBA half a decade, something like that. And, like a lot of players with Jalen, all right, he was a turnover a minute when he came into the league, and shot wasn't that great. But Orlando was good last year and was good without Jalen, and Jalen got really good, then he got hurt. See, so it takes a little while for these 19, 20, 21-year-olds, but like Jalen Suggs, he took off.
Suggs was so good, and he was on one last year until he got hurt. That stinks for him,
right? And but before that, he wasn't necessarily that good, and people would look at his size and be like, "All right, I don't know about his age or anything." Honestly, I couldn't care less about that. But this Walter Clayton Jr. for a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards. And, you got to figure out the Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Alexander Walker thing. I would bet that Randle and Naz Reid return. Alexander Walker does not.
Yeah.
And So then now you figure out what you need off that. All right, well, you still got Stifle, and you got McDaniels, and you got Terrence Shannon Jr., and so on and so on and so on. The UCLA kid, the Jalen Clark. Right, but he can't score. But that doesn't mean he can't score forever. It's just he gets lost offensively sometimes where it was really exposed at times in the Western Conference finals.
I was laughing on X. Somebody posted, it's official, Julius Randle is back. Like the Wolves hardcores, they're all in on this summer, all in on tonight, next week
I want
or two.
him back.
But there was some flyer that they posted that he's hosting a hoops camp somewhere here locally in August.
Wow.
Well, he's got to be opted in then.
100%. I mean, that thing's in Texas, New Orleans, New York City.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
It's somewhere else if he for sure is not. So he'll be back. I mean, it's another one of those player option bits. Let me get this straight. All I got to do is sign here and I get that.
I get $30 million, you say.
And I ain't got to deal with, so he would have to not like his teammates.
Right.
Not like his lot in life or the coaching staff, or not like the area of the country where he and his growing family live. And it seems like all of those checked out okay, as opposed to, like not necessarily being completely in lockstep with one of those three facets. And then looking at that player option, recognizing decline, free agency, I can get 300,000 more, maybe,
right,
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe, but not term.
Right. I think that's cool. And Naz Reid, just Naz Reid in that Western Conference Finals was so enigmatic. But see, it's the body of work cannot be forgotten or eliminated by yours truly. And yes, I want Naz Reid in the Covenant. I want you just went through half a season where Randall Edwards and the whole thing couldn't figure itself out. Julius gets hurt. He's out a month. Comes back, I think, in a game at Utah, something like that. Leah B. Olson's interviewing him after the game, and he's like, the ability to sit back and watch film of what these guys like to do without me out there, it showed me what I can do to not get in their way.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant, and it was beautiful, and it worked until the coach of the champions, starting in game one, was... Yeah, we see it. We see the numbers here. You guys like to shoot a lot of threes. We don't happen to think you're as good at shooting threes as you think you are, specifically the ones you bring off the bench. Kitty.
Yeah.
Go on and shoot as many as you want. Oh, Julius Randle hit 5 threes? Does that mean that he's not getting my guys in foul trouble in the key like a rolling ball of butcher knives going to the basket for the and one? Oh, we'll take that too. So, yeah, we got done a little bit in that Western Conference Finals from myriad angles. But that's the first race. Let's move on to the next one and see what old Julius can do with the squad.
To the talkback machine.
Hey, PAA, Nardo, it's Max Megan again. I think for the Timberwolves, it would be a better scenario if we traded for a big man rather than drafting one. I feel like there's a lot of growing pains when it comes to big men in the league.
Yeah.
When they realize they're not the biggest guy on the court anymore and they actually have to develop their game. So I think a guy like Zubac, Brook Lopez, someone can just hold down the block but also be able to score because Rudy doesn't know how. And, yeah, we need a guard in the draft. That's all. See you later.
I dig that. I mean, Brook Lopez is closer to 40 than he is 30, I'm pretty sure. But he'll still block a shot. He'll still stretch the bigs for the other team because if you leave him open, he will hit threes. I mean, it takes him an hour to get up and down the court, and this team already clumps a little bit and is slow. But I mean, what do you
give him time?
What do you do with Rudy? I mean, I can't see a team having Lopez and Gobert.
No,
and certainly not playing at the same time. So when seasons end, people, including yours truly, we will have team/scheme/player envy, and for me, it ended up being a guy who's been in the league like 10 or 11 years, Miles Turner. All right. I know Miles Turner's game and career inside and out. I've watched him a million times. Very in and out type player. Would get hurt more in his career in the middle than he did last year. But Miles can hit threes and lead the NBA in block shots.
Has that always been his game, by the way? Because I've always thought of him as a shot blocker.
Yeah.
And it's only been within the last 2 or 3 years
it's
where
grown.
I'm like, whoa, hold on. Miles shooting from distance.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't necessarily aware that was part of his game, but it played into it for a team that went to the finals, certainly.
It's grown, and I would imagine if we looked back at the season stats, you would see areas where, hey, Miles, don't do that anymore.
Right.
Miles, come on. Oh, okay. Hey, Miles, do that more.
Yeah.
So it's been there's been a maturation, a metamorphosis to it with Miles Turner, but from the minute he got into the league, he's blocking shots. Now, Stifle has been every bit as good a shot blocker as Miles Turner. Rudy Gobert's shot blocking, and I may be wrong here statistically, but it just wasn't as much of a thing last year or a threat as it had been. His rebounding still was really good, but the difference between Rudy Gobert and Miles Turner, or one of these, I guess it's a super deep center draft. I mean, looking at these centers who could be taken in the top 10, top 15, according to these websites.
Yeah.
We ain't breaking down the all 10 here to find the next Roy Hibbert.
I mean, his per game, 2 of his 3 years in Minnesota have been among his career lows. I mean, he was averaging 2 and change during his time with Utah. Then it was less than 1.5 his first season, jumped north of 2 again 2 years ago, and then it was 1.4 again last year.
Yeah, 1.4 is acceptable, but it's. I bet you Miles had more. I mean, that's just what Miles does. He's an adroit shot blocker.
Well, the thing that you intrigued me with then, because yesterday, I think it was yesterday, whenever, talking about teaching an old dog new tricks. And it's like you kind of pick up Rudy because he's got that HOF defense, and he's a 4-time defensive player of the year. So but at this stage of his career, do you kind of know what you got? Is it unfair to ask Rudy to find an additional shot? The way that we talk about Anthony finishing at the rim was a little bit of a trouble this year. Is there a mid-range or some kind of versatility that a budding superstar can continue to grow his game with? Is it too much to ask a guy like Rudy to do something in an offseason to develop an additional thing? If you're asking Miles Turner, instead of taking 3 threes a game, to take 4, to take 5, be more efficient, learn the best spots to take those, maybe in transition, and kind of walk into them, versus how maybe he did something for the majority of his career. Is it unfair to say, Rudy, I need you good from 4 feet once in a while? I'm not asking you to hit threes, never going to ask you to do that, Rudy. But can I get you from 6? Can I get you from 7? Can you develop something? Is it unfair to ask that?
Look at this. No, it's not. You know why? Because it's your company and you are paying the employee. So if I need the employee within reason to work on something, and I feel it's attainable or parts thereof, I mean, then you can dictate to the individual. I know this is your downtime. I know we're going to Chantilly or we're going to watch the Arc de Triomphe in Gay Palais. I don't know what he's doing. I don't care what he's doing. But if I ask him to learn how to better catch, because we don't have time during the course of the season, because we don't have time for practice, we got 3 games in 4 nights, I'm talking just catch, okay? Yeah. So, yes, look at Miles Turner, man. I mean, just to answer your question. Miles Turner, as a rookie in the NBA 10 years ago, he played about 22 minutes a game, and he averaged 0.2 3-pointers a game. Then it went to 1.4.
Oh, wow.
2.4, 2.6, 4, 4.4, 4.4, down to 4, up to 4.2. Last year, 5.3. And he made a career high 2.2. What else?
By the way, he was shooting them at 40%, too.
Oh, wow, geez. Yeah. And he also blocked 2 shots a game. Okay, now his career high is 3-4 on blocks a game in the pandemic season, so it might not have really happened.
His career average is almost identical to Rudy's.
Wow.
But he was better this year at the rim blocking.
He blocked 3.5 shots a game, Miles Turner, during the pandemic, which means wearing that mask, maybe people thought he was Wilt Chamberlain.
I always love that.
It means feng shui never lost that category in LFL.
And they just got scared. I mean, it's like, you're not Miles Turner. You're Artis Gilmore.
I always love that one.
So he now rebounds. Stifel's always been a better rebounder, but 6.5, 6'9", 7.5, 7'1", 6.5. But see, Julius rebounds, where they have Siakam rebounds. So Halliburton is a better rebounding guard than anything the Timberwolves put out there at the point guard spot. So that's how you play the game, man. I mean, you just look to find those 5 who you feel can mesh together and get it done in relatively quick fashion.
Yeah.
And with Rudy, it's with Miles Turner, he's moving his feet, running, or sliding side to side, and you can throw him the ball, and it doesn't look like his hands are that of cast iron.
Right.
You can throw Miles the ball, and he catches it. Now, I'm not going to say he stops at the block and goes dream shake on it, or backs you down like Patrick Ewing, or has a sky hook like Kareem, or a jump hook like Chief, Robert Parrish. But he catches the ball for a starter, which means you have to acknowledge it. The only thing you have to acknowledge when they throw the ball to Rudy Gobert is how quickly you want to get him out of the game because he can't catch. And that's a problem.
It is a problem.
Just like this clock right now. It's 10:47. It's 9 to 9.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money, you sorry
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled Smart Engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
It's Megan.
Are you ready for #Megan Summer?
Megan?
Megan.
Megan. Megan. Megan. Would you prefer that I give you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
Megan?
Yes, it's me. What a shock, etc.
On June 27th.
She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
All right, meat sacks, let's get to work. Are you going to stand in my way?
The Bee is back.
You think you learned your lesson the first time?
Megan.
Megan 2.0, only in theaters June 27th, rated PG-13.
What up, News Denord, brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. Poker, blackjack, and table games all year round. Live racing in play as well. I believe tonight would be one of those live racing days.
Bet the gray on a rainy day is the age-old adage.
So you can go to CanterburyPark.com for all live racing details. Cool special schedule next week for the holiday as well, so check that out. And play cards when you can at Canterbury. The Minnesota Twins, in some ways you could say it was better yesterday, but ultimately the same result. The Mariners beat the Twins 6-5 at Target Field. Paddock shelled for 5 runs in the 3rd inning. He makes it through 5. But this time around, although the team's been chasing a lot lately, you found some life offensively with a Cody Clemens home run in the 3rd. Then you get a small ball action for a couple of runs before Jeffers, big 2-run double, scores Clemens and Correa. So you tie it up at 5 in the 4th. You get all the way to the 9th inning, and Duran just struggled, man. I think it was 17 or so pitches he threw in the 9th. Good season statistically overall for Duran, but it was a sac fly by Rodriguez in the 9th to pull the Mariners ahead, and the Twins are now 5 games underwater with, I believe, the third. Is it 4 or 3 this week?
4.
I apologize. It is, yes. So third one today. Best of luck to the Twins.
I think it's Kirby and Ryan today. About a it's kind of a pick'em game here. JoJo's about the best the Twins have to offer. But with Duran, all right, there was some misfortune that went his way last night where he hit 2 guys, but it was on hard-breaking curves. Well, he hit Ori Polanco, and then I think he might have hit Julio, or Julio hit the sac fly, but he got somebody on base where hard-breaking curves barely grazed the feet of guys. So, I mean, it was misfortune but throw the ball closer to the striker zone. I can understand that side of the conversation too. However, Willie Castro, with all due respect, should be ashamed of himself. He blew a play in the top of the 9th at second base. I mean, it's a 9.5 out of 10. Every second baseman, from Joe Morgan through Rich Dower through Willie Castro, makes. And I don't want to say it's lazy because I don't know the guy. I'm not in the clubhouse, but I mean, he barely put his glove down. Ball went under, and that played into the Twins losing. So Baldelli in his post-game press conference didn't mention Castro by name, but he's like, that's an absolute out that has to take place. And so then of course Castro comes up bottom of the 9th, strikes out on 4 pitches, looked completely discombobulated and lost. His face was his countenance was that of chagrin. And the closer for Seattle threw this nasty noon to 6 curve that Castro seemed to know was coming, but he still swung at it, and there's your dagger. So stuff like that is happening right now. Playable outs that have to be had, are trickling through either the infield to the outfield or the outfield to the wall.
Yeah.
And Castro was the culprit last night, man. That was really, if you didn't see it, it was really, really bad.
Stinks, too, because Willie Castro, we talked about it last year. Like, this is a guy that makes every dance. This is a reliable guy.
Yep.
Kind of becoming the way that Michael A. Taylor was a couple of years ago for the Twins. And bad results beget bad, uninspiring play in some cases. And maybe that's the case from Willie Castro. Saw this from an NFL standpoint. You chatted, I think, about this with Florio first hour. That I think this is it's Pat McAfee, of course. But Aaron Rodgers says that he's pretty sure 2025 is his last season, PA. I'm pretty sure this is it, he said. That's why we did just a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't want to put any extra years on that or anything. So this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career I've had. I've played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run. I've enjoyed it. No better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin, a great group of leadership, great guys in the city, expects you to win. So all love and peace and goodness there. If this is indeed the final season, that means that I believe week 4 in Dublin, PA, the last time our favorite team is going to face Aaron Rodgers. And I don't want to put you on a spot, but I'm going to because it's been 20 seasons, so there's a lot of them. But is there anything that quick twitch jumps right up in your head? Good, bad, ugly. He's gotten us a bunch. We've gotten him a bunch. But a particular game or moment specifically that is regarding Aaron Rodgers where it's like, that's going to be part of the story I tell when I think about all the times that the Vikings face number 12.
Interesting question. His debut, his first National Football League start was on Thursday Night Football, I believe in 2008, against Minnesota, and they beat the Vikings at the wire. 2009, when he got sacked at least 4 times by Jared Allen, 3 or 4 times. I'll never forget that night.
Oh, yeah. He had 3 in that 2009 game.
Yes.
Favre at the Dome.
Yeah. And the Twins were in the playoffs. So
back-to-back game one. I think it was Monday Night Football into game 163.
Yes, sir. And Denard Span and I think even Joe Ryan would have been too young at that time. But like Joe Mays or Kyle Loesch. Nevertheless, there were a bunch of Twins pregame on the sideline looking to meet Favre and feel the vibe of it and everything. That was cool. I'll never forget that. With Aaron, it's when I was chatting with the people with whom I chat, before we did that box in the box and KG was there, and I'm like, I'm not breaking news guy, but I'm just here to tell you that it ain't happening. Aaron Rodgers will not be a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy will. So as part of that process, just to put this in covert fashion, I just wonder how enthralled or excited he is to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so you remember that same day, all of a sudden I'm saying things like, anybody know that Russell Wilson was given X amount of run plays at the ends of games and he kept changing them? And Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, and he, had some problems.
Yeah.
Well, that's dysfunction. And maybe the dysfunction goes beyond that. And maybe somebody they covet to play quarterback recognizes that and wonders, wow, is this potentially dysfunctional? Well, anyway, I'm essential to go to Minnesota anyway. Why wouldn't I be? I'm going to be HOF. I know the head coach. He likes to throw. They got superstars all over the place. I'm old. They play indoors. It's a dead cinch until it wasn't. Well, now all of a sudden, because he's talking to Mike Tomlin weekly, according to ProFootballTalk.com, we're just going to gloss over it and think everything's okay. I don't. So I don't really have an answer for the career of Aaron Rodgers and anything that jumps out to me outside of that 2009 game. But the current, very, very curious to see how the current works for Aaron, because, he's got DK Metcalf and Freiermuth and a few others at his spot in Malibu or whatever, and they're playing catch. Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
In the middle of the summer, indeed. All peace and all love in late June. Finally, we mentioned the NBA draft, but it is tonight at 7 o'clock. The Wolves have picks 17 and 31. Looking forward to see who they take with 17 tonight. React tomorrow. And then 31 and beyond, of course, taking place mañana. So, NBA draft right in our faces, starting tonight.
Excited. Coming up next to begin the final hour of the presentation, he is the Vox of all Voxes, Everett of Vox. Welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium. He's Alan Roach. He's Mile High Roach, and he joins 9 to noon for a Covenant catch-up next.
My name is Desiree, and I'm a first-generation college student.
I'm Zach. I'm undecided in my major, and I'm a catcher.
This message was sent to you.
$500 down the toilet along with your performance. You are worthless.
Get the hell off the field before you lose me any more money you saw in my...
This is wrong.
I'm more than a bet.
Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Have you ever felt that uneasy anxiety when the 4 p.m. hour strikes? The creeping meal-related distress that happens when you don't quite feel prepared? You know, dinner dread. Let's get rid of that unpleasant feeling forever with one word. Stouffer's. No matter what happens, you'll have a dinner plan that everyone loves with Stouffer's. Some chicken enchiladas or a cheesy chicken and broccoli pasta bake is always welcome, whether it's Plan A or Plan D-licious. When the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's. Shop now for family favorites.
Love starts with you. Celebrate your unique story with Pandora Jewelry, crafted with meaning, love, and exquisite artistry. From sparkling lab-grown diamonds to vibrant enamels, personalized engravings, and iconic charms, Pandora offers endless ways to express what's in your heart. Style your favorites with hand-finished designs and playful cuts that reflect your individuality. Pandora is more than jewelry. It's a celebration of you. Shop Pandora today, in-store or online at pandora.net. Every day is a chance to be love. Let Pandora Jewelry remind you that love starts with you.